Hey there, Alan from Ural Junkie. How's it going? Today we're going to do a video that was requested by the Great Wheeler. He wants the sidecar lights to come on when he turns the key on, and he wants them to go off when he turns the key off. And you know, that's actually a really good idea. I don't know why Ural doesn't do this from the factory. Let's go take a look at the wires and see if we can figure something out. Okay, so here's kind of what we have. Going to the positive terminal, we have a big fat wire that's going down to the starter. We have a yellow wire coming from the alternator, and we have this red wire that's fused here. This wire, directly connected to the battery, goes to the sidecar, so it is always powered on, no matter what. So there are several ways to do this, and we are going to hook two of them up today. They're going to involve taking this wire that is always powered on, and we're going to run it through the ignition switch. The cool thing is we're not going to cut any wires, and we're not going to solder anything. So this is a no snip Saturday, and it is a no solder Saturday. We're just going to use crimp connectors and taps. So let's see what we are going to use here. Okay, so here we are in my office, and these are the things that we are going to be using. This is a piggyback fuse tap. Basically, you have two fuses. One of them goes in there. That's the same as the fuse that was in the original circuit. Then we can put another fuse in here, and the secondary fuse is for the circuit that we're going to tap into. This plugs in. I'll show you that in a second. And then basically you stick a wire in there and we're good to go. The other method that we're going to use is going to be a relay. This is a 5-pin relay. We don't really need 5 pins. Yeah, so we don't need this wire. So I am going to clip it off. And we'll save that because I'm probably going to need it. Now, the way this thing is going to get hooked up, this goes to ground. This is going to go to the sidecar. This is going to be hooked to the battery. And this is going to be a signal wire. And I'll show you which signal wire I'm going to use. So let's start hooking this guy up. First thing we're going to do is strip some of this wire off here. And we are going to stick this on here. And then we are going to crimp it. Like so. Okay, so that's one. And then on this end, we're going to strip him. And we are going to use a little yellow terminal. Stick him in there. Crimp him down. Okay, so this guy is done. Next, we are going to work on this guy. Now for this one, we're going to put some loops on. And let's see, for the ground, let's strip, ouch. And these are heat shrink, which is kind of nice. Okay, shove this guy in here. Crimp them down. Okay, so the blue guy, he's going to need a little bit bigger of a ring. This guy will work. So for the blue, we'll strip it. Crimp it down. Okay, so we have the black and the blue. This is going to go to our signal. So I think this is going to be long enough. If not, we'll have to lengthen it up. But this guy is going to get one of these two. Okay, so this is the problem child right here. When we do this, we're going to be bypassing the fuse. So we need to put another fuse in line. And in order to do that, I am going to strip this end off. And I am going to take this and cut him. Kind of like that. Then we'll strip this. And we'll get a coupler. So I'm going to stick this in here. I'm going to crimp it. Then I'll stick this in here and crimp it. Then we're going to cut this about right there, and we are going to stick a yellow terminal on it. Okay, so to recap, we have our fuse tap here. We have put an extra piece of wire on and a spade plug. Okay? For the relay, we have taken the white wire and put a spade connector on it. For the blue wire, we have put a ring on it. For the black wire, we put a ring on it. And for the yellow wire, we have put a fuse on it and a spade connector. So we're ready to go try this out. Okay, since this is a no solder Saturday, there's a couple of options here. This wire we are going to need to disconnect from the sidecar. Okay, so the best way to do that is to take the fuse out. Okay, so now it's disconnected from the sidecar. Now to do what we want to do, we're going to take this and we're going to stick it up here on the far side of the fuse. So I'm going to wrap this around kind of like that. Squeeze it down. Okay, so let's get it in place. And okay, is it all snapped in place? Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to take the fuse cover off. And this fuse right here, we're going to take out. And then we're going to take our fuse tap, string the wire up through here, and I'm going to plug this into the splice we made. Okay, so that's plugged in. Now let's plug this guy in. Okay, he's all plugged in. Tuck him under there. Okay, let's try this out and see if it works now. So when I turn the switch on and off, the lights should not come on. When I put the key in and turn it on, now the light should come on. The nice thing is, you can leave the light on, and then when you turn the key off, the lights will go on. On. This will work fine as long as you don't overload the sidecar current draw. You know, if you're going to put heated blankets, or if you have a spotlight and it is incandescent, you're probably going to want to use the relay method. But for just everyday running of the sidecar lights, this will work. The only thing to note is you're going to need to probably cut a little groove for the wire so it'll fit in there. Okay, so let's go and do the let's take off the screws that hold the fuse block. Okay, let's undo the battery terminal. I am going to put some zip ties around these and clean them up. And let's wrap this up through here and start putting it together. The blue one, remember, is going to go to the battery. So let's stick him in here with all the other pile of wires I have. Okay. And the ground, I'm going to keep out here. This one that we fused is going to go into the sidecar. Now we have one wire left, and that is the signal. Okay, so where are we going to hook that up to? If you look right here, this wire comes stock from Ural with an open connector. This goes to the California emissions something or other. No idea, but it happens to be a switched power. I'm using it to signal the relay for my GPS, and I'm also using it for my electronic jet kit. So what we're going to do is we're going to tap into this with another tap and then plug this into it. So I'm going to grab this. Now if you want to do this correctly, you should be soldering all these guys, not just crimping them. I'm only doing the crimping because of the video. Okay, so let's double check. We have the fuse out of here, right? Okay, fuse is gone. We don't want the fuse. Everything is hooked up. Now let's take this and start putting the fuse block back on, but not quite tighten it yet. And then the last screw is going to hook up this, and this. Okay, there it is. It's all hooked up. Let's see how it works. So if I turn these on and off, nothing should be happening, right? Then if I turn the key on, and try it again, they should be coming on. So if I leave them on, now I can turn the key off, and they work. Great. Sweet, huh? So, I will tidy this up and put some zip ties on and put it back together. Yeah, okay, so just as a final note, if I were going to be doing this on a permanent basis, I would eliminate this. I would put the fuse back in here. I would cut this wire off, and I would hook this wire onto the yellow wire here. And that way I wouldn't have to have the extra fuse, nor would I have to have this tap. One kind of good thing about having it hooked up like this, though, is if you want to put it back to the way it was, where it's always powered on, you just take the fuse out of the new fuse holder we put on and put it back into the original fuse hole. So fuse holder. So if you were to put the fuse in here, then it would behave like it was before, always powered on. But again, if I wanted to do this on a permanent basis, I would cut this wire, hook the yellow wire and this wire together, get rid of all this, crimp on, put the fuse back in here. So that's kind of my take on it. I think I'll probably try this out for a while, and if it all works out, I'll probably take it apart and do just that. Hook the yellow wire and this wire together, get rid of this fuse, and solder the, I guess there's only one connection left to solder. So, yeah. Okay, so I had an unforeseen circumstance. As I was putting the cover on, the cover was interfering with this edge. So I'm gonna try and turn this around. Okay, so I pop that out. And I'm gonna turn it around like this and stick it back in. That will pull the whole thing in by a tiny amount, which I hope is enough to work. Okay, so let's see if it works now. We'll put the assembly back in place. Well, that actually made quite a bit of a difference. Let's see if it fits now. Yeah, all good now. Okay, so you gotta reverse the clip on top by pulling it out and rotating it around. It fits fine now. So, learn as you go. And that is it.